Well, the first read-through is always a little bit, it has a lot of energy behind it, but it's also very tense because you're reading it for the very first time. You're reading it in front of some other people. You know, it isn't just this quiet sort of private thing. So it has a certain kind. I mean, I get nervous, you know, and I think most of us do. But what was really nice is we all had dinner the night before, so we broke the ice, and that was kind of wonderful. So that by the time we sat down at the table, we could all share that we were a little bit nervous and everything. And then we read this really wonderful play, and I personally like the very, very first reading because it's virginal, and you'll never quite have that happen again. So for me, the first reading is very important.
Well, let's talk about the role that you play and what attracted you to this woman.
I'm playing Ouiser Boudreau, and what attracted me was that it's a really good, wonderful character part. She's irascible, she's the curmudgeon, she's the battering ram, she's the person that's, you know, been in a very bad mood for 40 years. And I wanted to be able to move into character parts as opposed to, say, leading lady parts. Do you know what I mean? So, and I talked to my friend Shirley MacLaine about it. So Shirley said, "Oh, that's a great idea." She said, "I did the same thing with Madame Zusatska. You move into character parts before you're actually old enough to play them." Do you know what I mean? So that you get established in a certain way. And I also wanted to try and do something very different from Wintertime, which I did last year at the second stage. So, you know, I go from an Italian hot tamale to this curmudgeon. So.
And she's so beautifully written. I mean, when you read yesterday, were you aware of the play? How aware of the play were you?
Well, I read the play early on when they first talked about doing it, and I was surprised at how really good the play is. The play is really good. It's really solid. And what's really wonderful is absolutely every character has stage time. Everybody has a moment. It's so clean and so strong, the way it's written. Bobby Harling's really a good writer.
A final question. What do you love about the process of working in the theater as opposed to film or television?
For me, the theater is more interesting and complex, and the discipline and the technique that's required to do 8 performances a week. I like also the physical, it requires an enormous amount of physical strength as well, and I feel like I'm sort of cooking on 12 cylinders as opposed to 6. You know what I mean? But earlier on in my career, then I had really complex and interesting parts to play. But that's just not the case as I've gotten older in terms of film and television.